To a royal drama in Japan, where Princess Mako has had to leave the royal family after marrying her longtime boyfriend, a commoner, following Japanese law. The marriage has split public opinion, with some critics considering her now husband unfit for the princess. The couple skipped the usual rituals of a royal wedding, and Mako apologized for any trouble brought by her marriage. So for more on this story, let's speak to Michelle Lee, Tokyo bureau chief of The Washington Post. Very warm welcome, Michelle. Tell us more about today's ceremony. It wasn't what we usually expect to see from a royal wedding.
No, there wasn't a ceremony at all. It was a staff member of the Imperial Household Agency who went to the registry office and submitted their marriage documents, and that was it. She was not allowed to have a traditional ceremony because her family decided that because of the public criticism about their marriage, that it wouldn't be a celebratory event for the public, and therefore it would be a very muted, very paper-driven logistical affair. After they made their marriage official, they did hold a news conference, which is the first time the couple appeared in public since 2017 when they got engaged, and they appeared together. It was very somber. They read a joint statement, but it was very clear it was an emotional event for them. They talked about their love, how difficult the past couple of years have been for them with the public criticism, and they talked about how they had been there for each other, and they did apologize for the people they had upset, but thanked those who had supported them.
Now, help us understand, why exactly has their relationship been attracting so much public criticism?
Well, it wasn't always so critical. In 2017, when they announced their engagement, the public was very happy for them. They were happy for the princess. Their love story was very sweet. The couple talked about how they fell in love with each other and giggled, and it was a very sweet announcement. But shortly thereafter, some news reports emerged about his mother's finances and some drama that she had with her ex-fiance. So it gets a little bit complicated. But when these stories surfaced, the Japanese public became very critical and skeptical of him and wondered whether he was taking advantage of the princess, about the connections to the imperial family, whether he was quite fit for the princess, whether he was good enough. And then it really snowballed from there. It seemed like he couldn't do anything right in the public's eye. When he showed up at the airport in Japan a couple weeks ago, he was wearing a ponytail. His hair was in a ponytail. And his ponytail literally ended up in headlines, and people criticized him for that. And when the princess talked about her post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms from all of this criticism, they mocked her for that too. It has been quite brutal. There were protests. In fact, there was a protest today of about 150 people who were holding signs and chanting and opposing their marriage.
Okay, so a love story that's turned quite nasty. Just briefly before we go, what is next for Princess Mako?
Well, Princess Mako, who is now Mako Komuro, is headed to the United States with her new husband. We think they're going to go to New York, where he works as a lawyer. And she has an art curation certificate. She has a background in art studies, and she's apparently very much wanted in the arts community already.
Okay, love story. Moving to New York then. Michelle Lee, the Tokyo bureau chief of The Washington Post, thanks so much for joining us on DW.